Welcome to We Are All Connected, a beautiful conversation about connection and gratitude with the amazing Daniel Bruce Levin. I'm Ivana Fertitta from KeyNote Womens Speakers, the world-leading female directory of public speakers, a non-profit organization run entirely by volunteers. KeyNote is on a relentless mission to bring diversity to stages and screens across the world. It gives me great pride to be able to introduce Dan Levin to you today. If you have read The Alchemist or The Celestine Prophecy, then you will love Dan Levin. Dan is a visionary, mentor, speaker, and author of the groundbreaking book, The Mosaic. It's a rare blend of mystic and businessman, whose ability to see the world differently drawn people, companies, and governments to invite him to work with them to jumpstart innovation. He walked away from a $1 million business to hitchhike around the world and find happiness and inner peace. He studied in a seminary for 5 years and he left one day before becoming a rabbi. He lived in a monastery as a monk for 10 years. His quest developed as a fable, the Mosaic. The Mosaic invites you to see the world from a new point of view, one that focuses on what connects us to each other and brings us happiness. The Mosaic is a magical book that will inspire conversation around the possibility that exists when we are able to see what we do not normally get to see. It will entertain and uplift you through the magic of connection, and it will linger with you well after you finish his story. And today, we all gather here to listen and discuss about the magic of connection with Dan himself. Dan will share his powerful message of connection, how we are all connected and why we better together. At the end of his talk, he will hold space for you and for your question. Bino will manage this part of the session. The session will be recorded, but only the part where Dan is speaking to share with those who register but were not able to attend today. Please stay muted during the session, but keep your camera on if you can, so we can all connect. And now, without further ado, let me welcome to our virtual stage, Dan Levin. Dan, over to you.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me now? Okay. I was saying thank you so much for that powerful, energetic, beautiful introduction. And now what I want everybody to do who has heard that introduction is just completely forget it. Because none of that, unfortunately, is important. The only thing that is really important right now in this moment is, are we able to connect to each other? Are we able to be with each other in our silence and in our words in a way that allows us to be a part of each other's experience? I believe the whole of our life is about this moment right here, right now. The ability to experience this experience that life has given us. And are we able to jump in with every ounce of what we do and be a part of this moment? When I wrote the Mosaic, it was the most frustrating time of my life. Absolutely one of the hardest experiences in a life that has been filled with hard experiences. What happened for me was that I realized that I was writing these characters and telling their story in the way that I wanted to tell their story. But I would write the story, and then what would happen is I would go to save it, and the next morning I would look at it to see how it looked. The story was gone. Like, I know how to save a file. I'm old, I'm not of this generation, but I still know how to save a file on a computer. That is not beyond my computer prowess. And I would do it again. So then I would sit down, I go, oh my God, I must have done something wrong. So I sat down and typed it again. Maybe it was better, maybe it was worse. I didn't even care at that point. I just wanted to write something and save it and do it. When I woke up the next morning, the file was corrupted. I thought, what in the heck is going on? Finally, I called my wife in and I said, maybe it's just some sort of karmic relationship I'm having with this thing. Baby, will you save this for me? And she saved it, and lo and behold, it was there the next day when I got up to look at it. We got all the way through it. We were just about to save the entire book, and the computer crashed. Everything was gone. I took it to the computer repair place. They were able to save every single file except the book. So I'm not the smartest guy in the whole world, but I said, somebody is trying to say something to me. And I did what we're doing right here. These were mythological characters based on real people that I met, but I didn't have the luxury of having them sit in front of me. But I decided I'm going to call them together in a Zoom call of my own making. I'm going to have them appear right in front of me, and lo and behold, I could see them right in front of me. And I said to my characters, what in the heck is going on? Why will you not let me save this file? And they said, Danny, it's really very clear. What you're saying for us to say, we don't want to say. I said, I'm sorry, with all due respect, you're my characters. I created you. I should be able to write for you the dialogue that I want you to say in the story that I'm creating. They said, yes, you can, Danny. You can do that. That would be wonderful. We'll be here another 5 years and you will still be in the same situation. I said, what do you want? What is it you want me to do? They said, just listen to us. Listen to what we want to say and write what we want to say. If you do that, your book will be done in 30 days. Having spent almost 3 years trying to put this book together, I said, you got a deal. And I did exactly that. I started to listen and they started to write through me. And you have to understand, I'm a guy. I'm not like I'm not like a woo-woo, airy-fairy guy. I don't listen to characters and voices don't come into my head, and that isn't something that happened. But I did listen. The story they told through me was so much more powerful than the story that I was writing. They were not only writing in the words that they spoke, but they were writing in the spaces between those words. The space between the words was speaking as much as the words were. The story is a story about connection, a story about coming back to purpose, a story about a boy who loses his parents 2 years apart on the same day. His heroes, my dad, that story is my story. That boy was me. My dad was my hero. And when they were taken from me, I wondered, why in the world would a boy lose his heroes? Why would that happen? Why would this great creator take from me that which was most important to me? And so I did what happened to me in writing the book as well. I asked the question and I started to listen. What I realized in the writing of the Mosaic is that every single thing in this world is speaking to us. Surely people that we meet along the way are speaking to us. But our businesses are speaking to us. Our environment is speaking to us. Our bodies are speaking to us. Our families are speaking to us. And if we would just simply take the time to listen, what would we hear? So the first way to get connected to a world that we're a part of, as you can probably guess, right? It's to start to listen to it. Listen not only to the words it's saying, but to the space between the words. What is life trying to say to you? And what I realized through the process of the story of the Mosaic is the Mosaic gave me the 4 areas of connection. In order to connect, we think this is connecting. We're talking to each other. Well, right now, this isn't connecting. This is a monologue that I'm giving. Pretty soon, we'll have a chance to have connection because I'm going to open it up and have you speak as well. But most of us would say when we're talking to each other, that's connection, and that's the best connection in the whole world. But the Mosaic showed me there are 3 steps before that. The first is connection to self. When I looked at my life, what I realized is I had built a silo around myself. Because what I was doing is I was doing this all the time. I was literally punching myself in the face and the body and the knees, in the groin, in the feet, wherever I was punching myself. I was knocking myself down all the time because I said, this is what I want. Oh, no, you're not going to be able to do that. This is what I think I should do. Oh, no, you're not the one to do that. You're too old. You're too heavy. You're too big. You're too, you can't speak well enough. You speak too much. Even when I was told that my job was to listen to the world, I said, no, I can't do that. Look how much I speak. I can't be a listener. Until the voice that told me that said, you do talk a lot. We do want you to listen more. But here's the beautiful thing about you. When you speak to people, your words come across and they occupy the minds of people. Your stories are interesting enough that they actually fill the minds and people follow along with your stories. And you're interesting, sort of interesting enough that they'll follow you with their mind. Well, guess where fear lives? Fear lives in the mind. So if the mind is occupied in the stories that I'm telling, then fear is also occupied there. And they said, Danny, now do what you have to do. As you occupy the minds and the fears of people with your words, listen to their hearts and their souls. Listen so that you can hear what their heart and soul are saying. And don't only speak to the questions of their mind. Answer the questions of their heart and their soul. So once I realized that I was hitting myself and the walls that I were putting up were to protect myself, not from your assault on me, but from my own assault on me. I realized the simplest thing in the world to bring down those walls was to start to be kind to myself. When I was kind to myself and not hitting myself, then I didn't need walls to protect myself from my own assault. And so the first practice in the practice of connection is to listen to yourself by being kind to yourself. Practice kindness. Start to watch those places where you're hitting yourself, where you're knocking yourself down, where you're saying, you can't do this. You're not good enough. You're not enough. You'll never make this happen. And start to be kind and say, of course you can do that. Even if you can't do it, the one that comes through you can do it. And that's the second connection. Once you connect to yourself, then connect to the one that's bigger than yourself. Connect to the one that's greater than you are. And what happens when I took down my wall and my silo is I went, whoa, wow, look at the world out here. This is amazing. Look how big and beautiful and fabulous this world is. Look how amazing it is. Look at all the things that are going on. Look at the creation that's here. Look how absolutely beautiful and glorious and magnificent this world is. Who did all this? I didn't do all this. Who did all this? And when I realized that something greater than I created this world that I was placed in, and I was a part of that something that was greater than I, then I started to say, maybe I'm not in control of everything. Maybe it's okay if I give up control. Maybe I need to be a little bit more vulnerable and listen and receive and accept that which the world is giving me. Let me listen for that voice that comes through me. Maybe the whole reason I'm being told that I'm not good enough to do it is to get myself out of the way so the one that is good enough to do it can do it through me. And we together can do this. We can do anything when we bring that power into our being. And we work in cooperation. We connect to the one that's greater than us. And then anything is possible. When I started to realize now that there was one greater to me and I was here for a reason, then the obvious third place to connect was to ask the question, what is that reason why I'm here? And so the third connection would be the connection to our purpose. Connection to understanding why we're here. What is it that out of all of time has never been done before that the Creator would need to create me to do what I have to do in exactly the way I have to do it? There might have been things that have come close, but nobody from the beginning of the time till this moment right here has ever done what I'm about to do right now in the way that I'm going to do it. Or else I wouldn't need to have come back. There's no benefit to having copies of myself all over the place. So what is that I have to do? That when I do it, no one from this moment on till the end of time will ever be created to do it again because it's already been done. What is it that you were brought here to do that nobody has ever done? And after you do it, no one will ever have to do again. And then the fourth step of connection. When you have people that are kind, vulnerable, and full of purpose, and you bring them together and you build your mosaic. Those are the times Margaret Mead spoke about when she said throughout all of civilization, throughout all of time, it has always been a very small group of people that have come together. Think about it. A small group of people have always come together to affect the biggest changes the world has ever known. Why can't that group of people be us? Why can't that group of people be you and the people you're with? And that doesn't mean we have to be like-minded people. I am the antithesis of the like-minded community. I know how beautiful like-minded communities are. I remember when I found mine, I celebrated. I went, oh my God, I can't believe there are other people as crazy as me that believe like I believe, and how fabulous it is to be amongst those people and celebrate. And I don't have to explain myself and I don't have to do anything. But you know what? Our like-minded communities have gotten bigger and stronger. And the spaces between our community and other like-minded communities have gotten larger and deeper. And right now we stand in opposition to each other, one like-minded community against a like-minded community. It's time for us to get out of our silos. God didn't create us with silos to live in. He created us with beautiful open fields where we commingle with people of like and unlike mind. And the mosaic is all about bringing together pieces of all different shapes and sizes, broken and whole, big and small, all different colors, all different textures, from all different countries, from all different nations, from all different belief systems, and bringing them together to celebrate and unify in the glory of the diversity of other opinions. Because I believe in a world where everything is possible. Everything is possible. The only reason I can't experience it is because I don't see a way in this moment to make it possible. So now imagine when I talk to people who see things, exactly the same thing I'm looking at, in a completely different way. And instead of fighting them and saying, no, you're not right, you can't see it the way, you're not seeing it right, I see it right. The way I see it is the right way to see it, not the way you see it. You're wrong. You can't be right because I see it this way. but if rather I would say to them, I am so curious to understand how you can look at exactly the same thing I'm looking at and see something entirely different. Will you please take the time and explain to me what you see? Will you show me the way that you can see it so that I can see what you see? I might choose not to see it that way. I might choose to go on believing what I'm believing, but I might choose to go on believing what you believe and what I believe. And guess what? Maybe in that unity of diversity, we might just find that peace that I couldn't find, P-E-A-C-E and P-I-E-C-E, that I couldn't find, that would actually allow us to innovate a new world where a solution to something that I had never seen before suddenly makes the impossible possible. I shared a lot with you right now. I promised I would do a short meditation. And before we open up the floor to talk, let's just try and unify our energy together with a very short meditation. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And I want to share with you something that's very, very intimate that happened to me somewhere along the way. What happened to me came to me through no merit of my own. I did nothing to deserve it. I did nothing to warrant it. I did nothing to merit it. Suddenly, one day in the middle of nowhere, I turned around and I discovered there was a present sitting at my doorstep. It came in a cardboard box. And when I opened up the cardboard box, the present, the gift, was this incredible gift of love. And that gift of love entered me so completely, so fully, that the world that I knew before I could not experience anymore. See, the beautiful thing about love is it doesn't care how good you are or how bad you are. It doesn't care how many people you've helped or how many people you've hurt. It doesn't care if you think you're a good person or a bad person. It doesn't care if you're worthy of it or not worthy of it. It doesn't care if you are the king of nations or if you sweep the streets. Love knows only how to do one thing, and that's love. And love, out of nowhere, took this imperfect person and started to fill my being with this gift of love. And it asked only one thing of me. And that thing was that I would become a cardboard box. And that I would set this gift of love into that cardboard box. And I would deliver this cardboard box to everybody that I met, to every room that I came into, to every group of people that I spoke to. That I would take it into hospitals and schools, into corporations and businesses. That I would take it into boardrooms and operating rooms. That I would take it into houses of worship and places where people gathered to hate. That I would take it into prisons and elementary schools. That I would literally take this box with me wherever I went. And that I would do what I'm about to do right now with you. That I would set it in front of each one of you. You don't have to worry anymore what you need to do to merit love. I was on a podcast and someone asked me, well, Danny, how can people have what you have? How can they do what you're doing? And it stumped me for a little while until I asked love the question. And love said to me, if you're at a banquet, a beautiful banquet, where the table is set with all sorts of fine foods and beautiful drinks, where there are flowers, exotic, beautiful flowers on the table, and place settings that are elegant, with beautiful drink for people to share. And you see your name at a place setting. Would you walk up to the host and ask the host, how would I earn a place at this table? The table's already set. You're here. You don't need to worry about what you do or have to do to have this love. This gift has been given to you for no reason and for every reason. And I bring it to you in this cardboard box. And no, I am the cardboard box. I am not that gift. When I leave, I will take my box with me. But the gift remains here. And love doesn't care if you honor the gift or throw it away. Love doesn't care if you hide it in a closet or put it out for all to see. It will still fill you over and over and over again with this glorious love. Love is the gout that brings all of the pieces of the mosaic together. That love is now in your hands. Do with it as you will. When you feel to, open your eyes. Come back into this beautiful room. And know that love is yours forever. I would love to open it up and have people's comments on their experience, questions, answers. You don't have, it's not like I'm a wise man and you have to ask me questions. Tell us what you feel. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you want to share. And if you have nothing to share, it's okay. Share with us in your silence. Because your silence speaks as beautifully as your words. And we will hear you. What I want you to know in this moment, in this space, you are loved and accepted. You are listened to and heard. And you are acknowledged and validated. Thank you for the gift of you being here with me, and for the love that I feel from every single one of you. I'm going to go into more quiet, and I'm going to allow the room some quiet. I'm not scared of the quiet. I'm not scared of the silence. If the room is silent, it's okay for a while. If there's someone who wants to speak, please come and share what it is you want to say. The floor is open.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you all for being part of this short but very sweet morning. I hope in some form or shape we've been able to set up the day and the rest of the week and month for you. Dan is always available on Clubhouse. He's regularly there. He does this. He weaves his magic every couple of days on Clubhouse. Please follow him. Please share. Please attend his sessions. Obviously, the time difference is there, but that's where you can find him. You can also book a 30-minute discovery call with him if you need to, a one-on-one session where you can have a conversation with him and see if you want to have be part of his coaching. But yeah, thank you all so much. I hope this went so fast. The 1 hour is just gone so fast.
Too fast. That's
we should have had it for 2 hours, right?
Yes, easily. We can do it again if it turns out.
Yes, yes,
we'll do it again.
absolutely. If you have the time, if all of us are here, we'll do it again. We'll do this again for a little bit longer. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being part of this space. Thank you, Dan, for calming us down, for bringing us to this space where we feel totally in control and centered. Thank you very much. For those of you who have not had the chance to speak or bring up what they want to share, connect with Dan, please. He's on LinkedIn, he's on Facebook. Please connect with him. He will answer whatever you write him. He will, I'm promising you, he does that. Every single message you send him, he will answer you. So connect with him. If you have to go, you're free to start going. We'll slowly close the session, but if you want to leave, you can leave. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you so much for having this room and for having the opportunity to be with everybody. Big love to you. Please take her up on the free call. It's not a session to book coaching. It's a session just to sit and love together. So it's it's a link there. There's no funnels that it goes through. There's no sales program that we're going to get you. It's just time to sit together and love each other. So it would be my honor to do that with you. So thank you so much again. God bless.
I have shared in the chat the links where you can connect with Dan. You can go to his website, and over there you can book the 30-minute call with him. So explore the website. There are many things you'll find there.
Thank you again so much.
Thank you, Dan. It was wonderful. Thank you, Ivana.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day. Have a good rest of the week. Thank you. Thank you, Merilius.